Will electric vehicles become a thing of the past? Will the supposed future of the automotive industry soon become a one-hit wonder? EVs have, no doubt, been the rave of the automotive industry for a few years, with companies like Tesla evolving into a luxury automotive brand with its range of EVs. What's more, in the Asia-Pacific regions where EVs have become commonplace, car geeks have been rapidly introduced into a market where technology is king, and brands are hot on the heels of each other. But will EVs outlast the more conventional gas-powered automobiles? Or will EVs veer off the tracks and nosedive into oblivion? The CEO of Stellantis, Carlos Tavares, made some shocking revelations about the future of EVs from Stellantis and why this innovation may soon hit a bump on the road. Let's dive right into it. Carlos Tavares has shockingly revealed that legacy automaker Stellantis has witnessed significant challenges in driving the EV market and therefore may stop selling EVs to the middle class. While it is true that budding automakers across the Asia-Pacific regions are witnessing a surge in EV sales, it is clear that legacy automakers such as Stellantis are having a hard time pushing their transition towards EVs. Tavares has further gone ahead to state that the price of EVs may likely skyrocket to as much as 50%, and as such may make it difficult for automakers to build EVs profitably. But why? Are their Chinese counterparts gobbling up the EV market? How are companies like Tesla and BYD still able to record significant sales despite price tagging such cars as luxurious? Will the rise of new EV giants from across the Atlantic signify the demise of legacy automakers? Only time will tell. So what are the juicy details? Well, EVs have become the latest fad in the automotive industry, but for the CEO of Stellantis, who spoke at Stellantis' first ever Freedom of Mobility Forum, companies may face a hard time maintaining the electrification of vehicles. Tavares noted that to continue to create EVs, there must be an adequate, constant supply of lithium. But there's one ultimate villain in this fairy tale story: resource scarcity. Apparently, Earth seems to be lacking in just enough lithium to keep the EV train moving, but that's not all. With more than 1.3 billion gas-powered automobiles, Tavares is of the opinion that replacing such cars with electric-powered cars may not just be about building more cars, but amassing a colossal amount of lithium, which we might already be burning low on. Let's chalk up numbers to ascertain Tavares' statement. Stellantis' ambitious move to incorporate the EV move into business is projected to cost a whopping $35.5 billion on various plug-in models through 2025. This investment will also be supported by an EV battery factor that Stellantis plans to build in collaboration with Samsung. However, all these lofty plans hinge on one crucial factor: a sumptuous supply of the needed raw materials. Other global leaders in the automobile industry, like Elon Musk, have also voiced their concerns about the impending shortage of raw materials needed to create EVs, including cobalt and graphite. What's more, accessing the available resources may be another Herculean task, as these resources are steeped in bureaucracies and further require near impossible logistical arrangements. Numbers-wise, Stellantis recorded an 11% margin in 2021. Now, if they record a 50% increment in production, the company will run at a loss. Stellantis believes that the automotive industry has been imposed with a 50% increment in production due to the electrification of EVs, without considering the fact that these companies cannot transfer such a whopping increment to their customers. As such, these companies may have to gulp down such costs without the possibility of making such percentages in return. Stellantis' CEO further noted that the shift to EVs might make such cars unaffordable for the average person due to its high development and production costs. A hard pill to swallow for many. In a press conference in Manhattan, Tavares stated EVs that can get to a reasonable 400 miles of target add 1,000 pounds of weight. That is not sustainable. There are too many kilograms of raw materials. According to reports, even if Stellantis slaps a 20% increase in price on their cars, they'll still not be able to make considerable profits this year. Will Stellantis then begin to sell EVs at a loss like its contemporary legacy automakers? Perhaps Stellantis has already made a huge mistake, causing it to lose more customers. But what did they do wrong? Here's what. In a bid to transition to EV vehicles, there's been news about Jeep, one of the 17 brands under Stellantis, having massive recalls on their Jeep Wrangler and the Grand Cherokee in the last 2 years. This was also due to the reports about the immense fire risk of the Wrangler. This plummeted sales for Jeep, with sales dwindling by a dismal 20% within the past year. Additionally, the heavy prices slapped on SUVs by auto dealers due to low demand have nosedived sales for the company. Despite all this, Tavares has allowed dealers to charge significantly higher on such cars as the Jeep. This has all been in a bid to launder the image of Jeep being a luxury car maker, despite the solid reputation that Jeep has built as a reliable and affordable car. As of 2015, a Wrangler would cost you around $38,000. However, in 2023, that same Wrangler would cost the average person a staggering $52,000, a fatal mistake. Nonetheless, Jeep is still holding on to its EV plans, with the Wrangler and Cherokee available as hybrid plug-ins. Per Christian Monet, Jeep brand CEO, Jeep is fully committed to being the leading zero-emission SUV brand globally. Jeep has gone ahead to tease the automotive market with alluring prototypes like the fully electric Wrangler Magneto 3.0 concept, which is reported to host a mind-boggling 650 horsepower and 900 pounds of torque. But here's the kicker. This vehicle's launch has been pushed back to launch in 2027. This has drawn a lot of questions from various corners, especially since Jeep has already unveiled its prototype. Nevertheless, other fully electric models such as the Avenger, Recon, and Wagoneer are set to launch. While the fully electric Avenger has already made its debut in Europe, the Recon EV is on track for its launch in the US next year. The Wagoneer is also scheduled to be officially launched next year. But one question remains to be answered. Can EV batteries smoothly power the mighty engines of SUVs? Even though you may save cost on fuel in the long run, the batteries powering the SUVs may degrade over time, leading to reduced mileage. Further, replacing these batteries may be an uphill task as the batteries do not come cheap. Generally, the upfront cost of electric SUVs and the initial investment may discourage a lot of buyers, as against other alternatives like the internal combustion engines, ICE. Despite the fact that these ICE models have parts that may wear out, this may not directly or substantially affect the usability of such a model. Further, the environmental benefit of these cars may be reduced in light of the source of electricity used to charge them. For instance, in places where electricity is generated by coal, the carbon footprint of these EVs may be rightly placed side by side with an ICE vehicle. But Jeep is not the only Avenger in the fight against EVs. Honda's CEO, Toshihiro Mibe, has openly criticized the use of EVs, citing these recent developments as a little threatening, despite having to keep up with the trend. Other legacy automakers are also slowly making their peace with the introduction of EVs into the automotive market. So what's the plan for Jeep moving forward? Although the current bleak financial state of Jeep says otherwise, Jeep is not relenting in its efforts to resurge in the automotive market. Reports indicate that the brand is willing to take a step-by-step approach to tackling its problems. First, Jeep intends to eliminate the issue of higher dealer markups by incorporating a new retail model that customers can take huge advantage of. With regards to electrification, Jeep intends to transfer the cost to the suppliers per Tavares. According to him, about 85% of a car's value stems from its exterior. Therefore, an old plant could reopen in America, which could help in production. Carlos Tavares stated, "This is going to be mostly a cost reduction race over the next 5 years to protect affordability in terms of protecting the size of the markets so that we can keep the middle classes on board on new car sales." It seems from all indications that the Wrangler's debut is a strategic move by the brand. However, companies such as Tesla and BYD may already have the upper hand in the markets, as they've already set up production plants in China that ultimately reduce the price of their cars. In all, time will be the ultimate decider between true innovation and a spontaneous burst of imagination. What are your thoughts? Do you think EVs will surpass this initial wave to become a staple model? Or will ICE vehicles continue to dominate with their relevance? Let us know in the comments section below.